I saved her business with every dollar I had. A year later, she destroyed the most important day of my life. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I waited. And when the perfect moment came, I made her pay in front of everyone. Hi, my name's Ava. I've never really believed in revenge. I was the kind of person who forgave, who moved on, who gave people the benefit of the doubt, especially family. But sometimes, being the bigger person only gives others more space to step all over you. I have one sister, Chloe. Growing up, we were inseparable. She was the loud, confident, center of attention type. I was quieter, the planner, the fixer. She'd get into trouble and I'd clean up the mess. That was our dynamic even into adulthood. Chloe opened a cafe in our hometown a few years ago. It was her dream, a cozy little spot with mismatched chairs, string lights, and overpriced lattes. I was proud of her. I visited every weekend, gave her business advice, helped her set up social media. But deep down, I knew she was struggling. Then the pandemic hit. Rent was due, suppliers were gone, and customers stopped coming. I'll never forget the call she made to me. Her voice was shaking. She said she was going to lose everything, that she had no one else to turn to. And just like that, without hesitation, I transferred her $25,000, my entire wedding fund. Money I had saved since college. Money meant for a white dress, a small ceremony in the woods, and the beginning of my new life. Gone. Just like that. But I didn't regret it. Not at first. I threw myself into helping her rebuild. I designed a new logo, revamped the menu, even came up with a quarantine box meal kit that ended up going viral on TikTok. Her business survived, even thrived. Within 6 months, she had more customers than ever. Local press covered her comeback story. She was glowing with success. She never said thank you, never offered to pay me back. She joked once, "Guess I owe you my firstborn." And we laughed. I didn't care about the money. I just wanted her to be okay. Then came the happiest news of my life. I got engaged. Noah, my fiancé, was the kind of man who made ordinary moments feel special. He proposed on a rainy Thursday night in our kitchen while we were eating takeout and dancing barefoot to a jazz playlist. It was simple. It was perfect. And I wanted the wedding to feel the same. Of course, I asked Chloe to be my maid of honor. She squealed, hugged me, and told me she'd make it the best wedding ever. That was the last genuine moment we shared. It started small. The venue we'd booked, a beautiful vineyard just outside the city, suddenly claimed they never received our deposit. I was confused because Chloe had promised to handle it. "It's all taken care of," she'd said weeks ago. But it wasn't. Then came the invitations. We'd picked out a minimalist floral design together, and I asked her to mail them while I was traveling for work. A month passed, and not one guest had received an invite. She blamed the printer, then the post office, then claimed she'd resent them. I believed her until I went to her apartment and found the original envelopes still sealed, sitting under a pile of magazines. I started noticing other things. The florist said Chloe never confirmed the order. The baker had the wrong delivery date. Our wedding playlist, which I'd uploaded to a shared drive, was mysteriously deleted. She kept saying she was so busy and so stressed, but every mistake felt intentional. Then things got worse. Noah's parents pulled me aside one night and asked if everything was all right. They said Chloe had mentioned I was having meltdowns, micromanaging everything, and pushing Noah too hard. I was stunned. I had never said or done any of that. I confronted her. I asked her why she was saying those things. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I was just being honest. They deserve to know who you really are." I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. What had I done to deserve this? After everything? Then 1 week before the wedding, Noah sat me down. He said he was overwhelmed, that maybe we were moving too fast, that he didn't feel like I was being myself lately, that my energy had changed. I begged him to explain. He couldn't. He just said he needed space. He called it off the next morning. I was numb. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I didn't even cry at first. Just sat in the dark and stared at the wall. And through it all, Chloe kept acting like she was the victim. She said maybe it was for the best, that Noah wasn't strong enough for me anyway. Then came the message. It was from a barista at her cafe, someone I had helped train months ago. She said she couldn't stay silent anymore. She told me Chloe had bragged about ruining my wedding, that she said I needed a reality check, that she couldn't stand how everyone thought I had it all, the job, the fiancé, the perfect image, that she was tired of being in my shadow. I felt sick. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. I didn't block her or start a family fight. I went quiet. 3 months later, I was invited to help plan a major charity gala. It was a black tie fundraiser with over 300 guests, including politicians, business leaders, and local celebrities. I was asked to join the organizing board, specifically in charge of vendors and catering. And that's when the idea came to me. I recommended several local businesses for catering, including hers. She didn't know I was on the committee. She probably thought it was just another big opportunity. The night of the event, she showed up in her usual black apron, barking orders at her staff, balancing trays of tiny hors d'oeuvres. She didn't notice me at first, but the moment she did, her face turned ghost white. There I was, in a floor-length navy gown, hair perfectly styled, mic in hand, welcoming guests from the stage. The same girl whose wedding she had destroyed, now center of attention at one of the biggest events of the year. When I announced the sponsors, I made sure to name her cafe. Special thanks to Chloe's Corner Cafe for handling tonight's catering with excellence and professionalism. The audience applauded. She stood frozen, tray in hand. As the night went on, people approached me, including reporters. They asked about my connection to the cafe. I smiled politely and said, "Oh, it's a long story." And yes, they asked for details. By the end of the night, she was visibly shaken. One of her waiters spilled a drink on a guest. Another ran out crying. The pressure was getting to her. I didn't gloat. I didn't even speak to her. But as I passed her near the kitchen, I looked her in the eye, smiled, and said, "Now you know how it feels to work so hard only to be humiliated by someone you trusted." She didn't respond. She just turned away. That was the last time we spoke. Now, her cafe is struggling again. Business is slow, reviews are dropping, and I hear she's looking for investors. But my phone hasn't rung. And if it ever does, I won't answer. Because sometimes karma doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's as simple as letting someone serve you the way they served betrayal.
What would you have done if you were in my shoes? Did I go too far? Or was I actually too forgiving? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think she deserves forgiveness? Or should karma keep doing its thing? And if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted the most, share your story too. Who knows, your story might be the next one we tell. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because this revenge, it's just getting started.